Hi, I'm Christy Whitman, celebrity coach and New York Times bestselling author, and I'm so excited to tell you about my new book being released on September 25th. It's called Quantum Success in Your Career: 7 Essential Laws for a Thriving, Joyful, and Prosperous Relationship with Work and Money. I want to share with you one of the principles that I teach in the book with a special guest that I think you'll love. Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below and enjoy.
A brand new book by New York Times bestselling author Christy Whitman. World-renowned guests speak with Christy to share their insights for you, focusing on one word based on the principles of this book. Prepare to be inspired. Quantum Success. Christy's guest is John Demartini, and today's word is look.
Hello, everybody. This is Christy Whitman with the Quantum Success Show, where you can get your information and inspiration to create your desires. And as you can see, I have a very brilliant man next to me. This is John Demartini. And John, I'm just thrilled that you're here to impart your wisdom to my community and to everybody that is wanting to create quantum success in their careers. So I'm going to give a full bio on you, but I just want to welcome you and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share and to meet the people that you serve.
Absolutely. So everybody, I'm sure you've heard of Dr. Demartini. He was in the movie The Secret. That's how most of you, at least in my community, probably recognize his face. But he is considered one of the world leading authorities on human behavior and personal development. He is the founder of the Demartini Institute, which is a private research and education organization with a curriculum of over 72 different courses covering multiple aspects of human development. I mean, he's just, you've been around for a while and you've helped a lot of people. So his trademarked methodologies, the Demartini method and the Demartini value determination, are the culmination of 44 years of cross-disciplinary research and study. His work has been incorporated into human development industries all across the world. Dr. Demartini travels 360 days a year to countries all over the globe, sharing his research and finding in all markets and sectors. He is the author of 40 books, published in over 25 different languages. He's produced over 60 CDs and DVDs covering subjects such as developments in relationships, wealth, education, and business. Each program is designed to assist people and activate leadership and empower themselves in all 7 areas of their lives: financial, physical, mental, vocational, spiritual, family, and social. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm excited to talk to you about one of the aspects in the Quantum Success in Career book, and that is the concept of look. And the concept of look and taking it further is looking through the lens of abundance versus limitation. So I know you're a big teacher in shifting people from lack to abundance. So I would love to hear your perspective on why is it so important to make this shift?
Well, I don't believe there's any lack of opportunity to become fortunate on the planet. Hmm. I mean, if we care about humanity and take the time to find out the needs of others, the voids of others, and go out of our way caringly with equanimity and equity to serve those with our skills, our specialized skills. There's no limit on the number of people we can serve. Therefore, there's no limit on the number of remunerations that we can receive. So I think that caring about humanity, I said at a church one time that I was speaking at, that if you're poor, it may be because you're not caring about humanity and you're focusing on the weeds, not flowers, and you're not caring enough to step out of your own limitations and care. And go out and do something that makes a difference. When I was 9 years old, I went to my father and I asked him, Dad, I'd like to earn some money. And he said, fine. He said, have you mowed the yard? Yes, sir. Have you edged the sidewalk? Yes, sir. Have you swept the sidewalk? Yes, sir. Have you trimmed the hedges? Yes, sir. Have you cleaned the gutters? Yes. Have you cleaned your room? Yes. Have you Have you shined my shoes? Yes. Have you cleaned out the garage? Yes. He said, son, I have no other things that need to be done. I have no other voids or needs. So if you want to earn some money, I can't just give you money without some sort of fair exchange. So you're going to have to go to the neighbors and see if they have something that you can maybe do. So I was going, okay. So I walked down the street and I walked up to a second house down from my house. And the Evans was the name of the people. And I walked and knocked on the door, and I saw that they had an unruly yard, and it needed mowing and edging and trimming and bushes and things. And I asked if I could do it. And I didn't think about what the price needed to be. I just had to pop on my head what that price is. And the lady said, well, that seems reasonable. When can you do that? And I said, I'll do it today. So I did this yard, and I charged $25 for all the hedges and $5 for the mowing and edging. And I made $30. And I was I had stings from the bees, and I had calluses, and I was a mess when I got through, but I earned the money. And I went out and bought baseball and glove and a bunch of things that I always wanted. And my dad saw me playing with my new glove and ball. He said, where'd you get the glove? And I said, well, I did what you said. I went to the neighbors and I started doing various duties for the neighbors. I said, what equipment did you use? And I said, well, the equipment in the garage. He said, son, I have to teach you that there's a depreciation cost on that equipment. You can't just use that equipment without paying the price. And he asked me what I did, and I told him. He said, well, you owe me $7.50. I went, oh, but I spent it. He said, well, that'll teach you to make sure you pay your bills before you just go in luxury.
Wow.
So I had to pay and work another 2 yards to be able to pay back, and then also have him pay him for that use. And that was a little discouraging because I was already accustomed to more income. And so in the process of doing that, I went out and did a bunch more yards. I paid him off. And then I had a situation where I had more yards than I could do with that equipment. And I started hiring 3 groups of 3 boys in the neighborhood. And I had 9 employees when I was 9 years old, doing landscaping and yards. And I started using the Zubrods and the Malas equipment, and they talked to my dad, and they charged me the same amount. And after I paid everybody off, paid my dad, paid for the gas, paid for everything, I netted $45 in 1963 from doing all the work. And then I could buy the things I wanted to do. My dad saw that I was spending the money on immediate gratifying objects and wasn't thinking long-term and saving. And so he bought me a coin collection set and a piggy bank. And I was appreciative of that. And I started filling up the coins, and I started putting money in the piggy bank. But I never got the key to open the piggy bank. And in my drawer here, in my office, just over to the left of me here, is the original piggy bank filled with the original coins from 1963 that I've never opened.
Wow.
As a reminder to think long-term and not let immediate gratification rob you of financial mastery and abundance. And so it sits there, never to be opened. And my dad then said, I'm proud of you, son. You're now learned to save money. You learn to have it work for you instead of you work for it. So you're now a master, not a slave. He said, but I have to teach you the next level of freedom. And the last time he gave me a little talk, it cost me. So I was a little leery about what he was going to say. He says, I want you to know what it's like to have freedom. So from now on, you're going to be a free man. You're going to go and do whatever you want to do anytime you want to do. You only have one constraint. You have to be home by 9 o'clock at night. But you can go anywhere on your bicycle. You can go anywhere and do anything you want, but you have to be home at 9. But you have one responsibility. You have to pay for now rent, clothing, and food, and $7.50 a week. And so at first I was going, but I love the idea that I could just go anywhere and do whatever I want. I had freedom to get up in the morning and go, and as long as I was home by 9 o'clock. So I started paying that, which was $30, a month. And I made it. And it inspired me to go out there. And I realized that if I had an incentive and I had an accountability and I had responsibility, it gave me dignity and productivity and allowed me to go out and think what else I could do to serve people. And I got more creative because of the accountabilities, and I served more people, and I had more income, and I had more freedom. And so I really believe that there's no lack except the lack we perceive because we're unwilling to serve.
Oh, John, I love that. Thank you so much. Your dad sounds like an incredible, conscious, wonderful man to teach you all that.
He passed away in 1997, but he was definitely an inspiration. And I think he cared enough about me because I had learning problems when I was a child. I had academic learning problems. I didn't read till I was 18.
Wow.
So he wanted me to be street smart. He wanted me to be street smart to try to survive in life. And he did it because he cared. And, you know, today, if you try to get your kids to be accountable, it's a little more challenging because they, you know, if you drop them off on the freeway and say, go figure it out, they'll call the Uber and come back. You know, you try to make them do those things, they'll call the parent of service or whatever, you know, the abuse or something. But it's actually to my advantage to make them accountable. So, you know, I always say that if you want to retire by age 32, you got to get your kids to work by age 2. I'm joking. But it's if you over rescue people and make them dependent, you hold them back from innovation and creativity and the willingness to be an entrepreneur. And I think that if we're choosing the path of security instead of inspiration, we may hold ourselves back and we may reflect our life in a way that there's a lack instead of abundance.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for that perspective. And I love how that just ties in with what we're talking about. Look, I mean, it's like when you look for the opportunities and you feel that, you know, it's like you want to go out and serve and you want to make money and you want to do these things. Where you look for, you will attract, and what you will see. And if you look at lack and you look at the limitations, you're going to find that. And if you look at abundance and all the opportunities, you're going to find that.
Well, the thing is the way our brain is set up, it's quite beautiful. Each of us live by a set of priorities, a set of values, things that are most important to least important in our life. And whatever's highest on our value, we are spontaneously inspired from within to fulfill it. And whatever's lower on our value, which is more extrinsic, we require incentives and motivations and reminders to do. So we tend to build our self-worth when we live by high priority things. And we tend to destroy our self-worth when we live by low priority things. We gain confidence if we live by high, we lower our confidence. We expand our space and time horizons when we live according to high values. And we tend to shrink ourselves and end up at the shrink by ourselves if we live by lower values. So it's so important to prioritize our life and give ourselves permission to go after what's truly meaningful and important and live an inspired life. Because in that area, that's when we're willing to tackle challenges that inspire us. You know, a young boy who loves video games, remind him to do his video games. He's inspired to do it. And the second he conquers it, which he will, he'll want to go and pursue a more advanced and more challenging video game. He looks for challenges that inspire him. That's a sign of living congruently and authentically. But when we're not doing something we love, we're unfulfilled and we want immediate gratification to compensate for it. A little dopamine and a little high to compensate for the unfulfillment. And we want to avoid pain and seek pleasure and avoid predator and seek prey. And so we want to escape the challenge and seek the ease. And we live in distress, not eustress. So it's so important to prioritize our life every day if we want to live with abundance. Because in our area of our highest values, the blood glucose and oxygen goes into the executive center of the brain, the forebrain, where we're able to see opportunity, take advantage of opportunity, and act on opportunity. So we literally manifest synchronicities on a higher scale and a broader scale if we live congruently. But if we try to live outside our own values, try to please all the world on the outside, sacrificing and minimizing ourselves by comparison, we probably won't see the opportunities nor take advantage of them. So it's so important to prioritize it. I always say if you don't fill your day with high priority actions that inspire you, it fills up with low priority distractions that don't. If you don't fill your day with things that are meaningful, it fills up with. If you don't plant flowers in the garden of your mind, it'll forever fill up with weeds. So we have the responsibility to consistently identify what's truly most important to us, what's really highest on our value, and also to structure our lives through delegating lower priority things and getting on with serving people so we have the income to apply those delegations So we're not trapped by life. We're grateful for life, and there's an abundant expansion.
Oh, love that. You're so fantastic. Thank you for that. And I know you have a gift for everybody that's going to help them do just that. So I'd love for you to share what your gift is. And for everybody, go below the video. There's a link there for Dr. John Demartini's gift, which he's going to explain.
Well, it's a simple, it's a gift, but it's, you know, I'm so amazed. Most people live in the shadows of others instead of standing on the shoulders of giants. Most people are comparing their actions to others instead of comparing their actions to their own dreams. It's so important to know what's really, truly important to you, because many people actually don't know that. They think they do.
Yeah.
Pardon me for doing that. I'm going to question, but I sometimes ask people, large audiences, thousands of people sometimes, how many of you want to be financially independent? And every hand goes up really quick, and it roars in the room. And I said, how many of you are financially independent? And the hands go down. I said, the percentage of people that are financially independent are less than 1%. But the people that have a fantasy about financial independence are 99 to 100%. So there's a major discrepancy there. And the reason being is that many people don't know what they really value. They're valuing the lifestyles of the rich and famous. They want the fantasy life, but they don't want to do what it takes to have it. They don't want to do the diligent work and serving of people. They don't want to forestall immediate gratification for long-term efforts so their money can begin to work for them. They don't want to study economics and managing of money. And so what they do is they have sort of a fantasy. They don't really know what they really want. They want the lifestyle, but they don't want to do what it takes to get it. And then they live with this contradiction. And then they self-depreciate. And then they have less confidence to go out and sell their goods. And so they live vicariously through other people's brands instead of build a brand. So I'm so emphasizing to students that to find out what's really most important. And so I put together a value determination process. And that's the thing I want people to go on the website to take advantage of. What it is it's 13 questions that are objective questions. So you're not sitting writing fantasies down about what really, really, truly your life demonstrates is important to you. Because you can tell me anything, but I'm looking at your life. Your actions speak the truth.
Yeah.
You know, my life demonstrates that I research and teach. 45 years I've been teaching. So, you know, I don't have to be reminded to do that. I love doing that. So you got to look at what it is that you're truly inspired by. And this is a 13-step questionnaire. It takes about 30 minutes, and it's private. So they can actually store it, come back to it, do it again, compare it, and nobody's going to see except them. And they can keep doing that and get a sense for who they really are. And then the key is from that is to set goals, not fantasies. Set goals that are really, truly congruent with what's important. You will blow your mind that you will actually achieve things when they're truly important and not just fantasies. I'm amazed at how many people live under things and they're unconsciously wanting another thing, but they consciously say, I want this. You know, it's like I worked with a woman not too long ago. She says, I want to find my soulmate. I want to find my soulmate. But what was going on is deep inside, she'd been wounded by 6 men over the last 3 or 4 years. And she was trying to avoid all of the pains that were there. So what she was saying and what she was actually doing with her actions were completely different. But by going through that value determination process, she got to go, whoa, what I'm really wanting is I'm wanting to make sure that I'm not trapped by a guy telling me what to do, not dependent on somebody economically. I want to be able to make sure I have my own autonomy with my own business. And what was really important was what she was manifesting. So I can emphasize that if they go online and go to the website and go down to the value determination process, it's free, it's mind expanding, and I would encourage them to do it, not just once, but go back and just watch and be honest with themselves. Because the first time you can do it, you can put in there what you wish it would be instead of actually be objective. So it's asking questions to get you honest and objective about what your life demonstrates is truly important to you. So you can start to structure your life as a conductor, as a self-governed individual with your executive center wisely by priority.
Well, I'm looking forward to going and doing it. So I always love self-discovery and awareness, and I'm looking forward to taking it myself. So thank you for offering that to everybody. And I really appreciate you being part of the show and part of the summit, and to being such an amazing light in this world for doing what you do. And I'm grateful for your dad to teach you the ways of being an entrepreneur and the ways of going out and serving people, because we're all so blessed by your teachings and what you're doing in the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I can thank my dad for that too.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. So go below the video and click on the link, and you will have the 13 questionnaire, and I really highly recommend it. I'll do it with you because I'm going to go do it myself. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you're taking away. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought. Leave me a comment below, and be sure to share and tag your friends. If you like more information on the book, go ahead and click here or in the link in the description below. And be sure to check out my other videos here and on this site.